Okay guys, so what happened in the last 2 weeks in the crypto market? We finally saw some positive inflows in the Bitcoin ETFs. Bitcoin rallied on the news. My portfolio jumped by nearly 21k. Solana had a 5-hour outage. And a game on the Solana ecosystem achieved more than 1 million downloads on the App Store. We're going to cover all of that and much more. But before we get to any of that, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that noti bell. Now let's get into the video. Okay, so we're gonna start with this crypto article from the blog. Bear in mind, it came out on 5th of February, so that was about 2 weeks ago, and it's regarding the week prior, the 5th of February. Crypto funds see 700 million of inflows as GBTC impact continues to abate. This is the positive inflow of money that I was talking to you about into the Bitcoin ETFs. As you can see, $700 million a week ago. And now I wanted to show you a few charts. This is a chart of the cumulative spot Bitcoin ETF volumes. And as you can see, it's just been skyrocketing, just going up. There's no slowing down, guys. Bitcoin ETFs just keep going. Bear in mind, this is not money inflow. This is buying and selling of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. Moving further down into this chart over here, this is a chart of the spot Bitcoin ETF net flows. You can see that the launch started quite strong, $732 million of inflows in the first day. Then we had a bit of a slowdown and we actually went negative for about 10 days from 19th of January all the way to 29th of January. Then we went back to positive, and this is that week that we received 700 million of total inflows. And the week after that, we received 327 or about 330 million of inflows. When the news for that 700 million inflows came out, Bitcoin just rallied and did not stop for about 4 days. If we break it down, on the 5th we received 80 million, then 68 million the following day, and the following day after that 22 million, which is still positive. We didn't go into the negative. And finally on the 8th, which was 2 days ago, $156 million of total inflows for the day. Now let's see what Bitcoin did during that time. On the 5th, it was at 42k, then it went up, it got to 43k on the 6th, it went sideways for a little while, and here comes the 7th. This is exactly when the news came in, and it just exploded up. It got to 47, nearly 48k, and the last high was 49.5k, which happened at the time Bitcoin ETFs got approved. So we're only 1.5k away from it. Okay, now let's see what my portfolio did in that time. Over here, you can see two portfolios. One is my old portfolio, and this new one is a fresh one that I created just for this series. Now, as you can see, there's a difference in price, and the reason why is because in my old one, I've added Virtue Poker. I haven't actually bought it. However, I just want to keep a very close eye on it because I may buy some in the future. And it's not just VPP, okay? I've also got loads and loads of other coins, probably hundreds of coins that I'm just either keeping an eye on or I've bought and sold before. It was just a little bit too congested. That's why I created this new one here. And I've added the exact amount I've invested into each coin. Only the ones that I'm currently invested in. As you can see, I sold Optimism and Wild the World a little while back. That's why they are at $0. And I actually bought more Casper. That was before the pump. Before Casper pumped 36%. Okay, let's see what happened to my portfolio in the last 7 days. Right, here's the 5th. My portfolio was down to 63.9k. It went a little further down on the 6th. 62.8, and then it just started going up. Here comes the 7th, and it just skyrocketed all the way up to 83.8k. This is an increase from 62 to 83, oh, even 84. So this is an increase of $21,000 to $22,000 in a matter of 4 days. 4 days, guys. Look at this. 6th of February to 10th of February, 4 days, 22k. It's gone slightly down since then to 82k. Still, my portfolio has done very well during this Bitcoin pump. So what did I do with my portfolio over the past 2 weeks? Well, I sold Optimism and Wild the World. This is not to say that my conviction in them is completely gone. I still think that these projects will do quite well during the bull run. However, I think that my money is better invested elsewhere. Like, for example, in Casper, which is exactly what I did. I sold both Wild the World and Optimism and bought Casper. And for the past 7 days, Casper has gone up 36%. Now let's look at Optimism and Wild the World. Wild the World, 0.35%. Pretty bad. And Optimism, just 13.7%, which is kind of good, but not as good as Casper. Apart from that, I haven't touched anything else with my portfolio. I've just kept it as is. Okay, that's pretty much it with my portfolio. Now let's keep going with the news. This next article is again from the blog. And look at this. This is quite interesting. This came out on the 9th and Bitcoin still kept rallying. New York Attorney General triples estimated size of alleged fraud in case against DCG. If you don't know about DCG, this is the parent company of the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF and Genesis. And both Genesis and DCG are being sued right now by the US government. Look at this. New York Attorney General Letitia James has expanded the state lawsuit against Digital Currency Group and tripled the estimated size of alleged fraud to more than 3 billion. So originally they said that DCG had defrauded investors for 1 billion. However, now they've changed that amount to 3 billion. The NYAG, and this is the New York State Office Attorney General, has now found that the companies defrauded more than 230,000 investors out of more than 3 billion, according to the new amended complaint. Wow, 230,000 investors. DCG have been very, very naughty. Okay, what's next? You're never going to beat Twitter by just copying it, says Farcaster's co-founder. Okay, a few things to unfold here. First, what is Farcaster? Farcaster is a decentralized blockchain protocol made for social applications. It's very similar to the one that I'm invested in, which is SocialFi. However, they've taken a slightly different approach. Instead of trying to create the next Twitter, the next Facebook, the next Instagram, they're trying to scale existing social media applications. So in this case, Farcaster is trying to scale Twitter, which actually makes a lot of sense. Instead of making a brand new social application, just work with the existing one that has already captured a lot of the market. This is quite interesting. A little bit more about the project. Dan Romero is the founder and he's an ex-Coinbase executive. So he has the connections with Coinbase. And not only that, but when we go into CryptoRank, we can see that on their seed round, they raised $30 million. And who were the investors? Coinbase. This is very important because he's got the connections to Coinbase. Coinbase have actually invested into it, and we know that for a project to do really, really well, they need to list on one of the major exchanges, which is Binance, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Kraken, the US exchanges, right? Now, the investors, the backers, and the CEO make it very likely for this project to list on Coinbase. So I'll be keeping a close eye on this one. Okay, moving on. This is an article from CoinDesk and they talk about this new Ethereum token, ERC-404, the experimental standard whose first token has rocketed 12,000% in 1 week. ERC-404 allows multiple wallets to directly own a single NFT and in the future create a use case where that specific exposure can be tokenized and used to take out loans or stake holdings. Okay, so let's recap. You buy an NFT, that NFT comes with tokens. If you ever want to sell part of your NFT, not the whole one, because you still want to keep exposure to it, you can sell part of the tokens that you receive. As soon as part of your tokens go to a different wallet, the NFT breaks down. However, if at any point in the future, the two parts of those tokens get back together in one wallet, the NFT comes back with different attributes. Okay, so essentially you may lose your attributes or you can farm for better attributes. Very new and very innovative technology. And the token that they're referring to that went up 12x is Pandora. It launched on the 6th and for 4 days it went from 4k all the way up to 32k. 12x, guys. 12x in 4 days. Not even 4 days. This was on the 9th. 3 days. 4x. Since then, it's had a little bit of a dip and it's now at 21k. So 21k, 4 divided by 4, that's still just over 5x. Pretty good. Now, the market cap of this project is still quite high for me. And I probably wouldn't invest into it unless it goes below 100 million. However, 3 days, 12x, pretty good. Okay, moving on to the next one. And this is an article from Decrypt about CleanSpark. CleanSpark is a Bitcoin mining company, and the reason why it's made this article is because CleanSpark Inc., a Nasdaq-listed Bitcoin mining company, announced yesterday that it signed agreement to purchase 3 Bitcoin mining facilities in Mississippi for 19.8 million in cash. Miners are starting to increase their hash rate. And not only that, but additionally, CleanSpark entered agreements to acquire a mining facility under construction in Dalton, Georgia, which is projected to operate at 0.8 hash rate with about 6.9 million in further investment. Okay, 6.9 million plus 19.8 If my maths is right, this is about 27.7 million. When fully operational, the Mississippi and Georgia purchases will grow CleanSpark's current Bitcoin mining hash rate from 10 to over 20 by early 2024, nearly doubling current capacity according to the company. Bitcoin halving is going to decrease the supply in half. However, they're going to double their hash rate. So they're basically going to mine Bitcoin at the same level as they used to. Okay, let's see what's next. Binance-backed Heroes of Mavia airdrops token after crypto game naps over 1 million downloads. So this is the Solana game that I was talking to you about. And if we go on CoinMarketCap, we can see that it's a $210 million market cap. Again, this project has a pretty high market cap. I probably wouldn't be looking to buy it. This is just a single game with a market cap this high. And compared to gaming studios that have multiple games and a much lower market cap, like in the 20 millions or maybe 40 millions, it just doesn't seem sensible to buy this. Either way, the game has done really well. I mean, guys, you can't argue with 1 million downloads. And if we look at the website, due to the graphics, it's probably made for the younger generation. And if you look at the actual gameplay, it's very similar to Clash of Clans. Probably not a game that I would play, but they've still done really well. Okay, on to the next one. Consensus says MetaMask incorporates features on Robinhood to facilitate easier crypto purchases. What this means is that essentially Robinhood can now leverage MetaMask's buy crypto aggregator to purchase and self-custody crypto via the app. It's very good to see Web2 companies working with Web3 companies. It reminds me of a bull run. Okay, what's next? Crypto payments app Orbit raises 25 million in Series A funding round led by Tether. Cool, but so what? You're probably asking yourself, how does that help me? Okay, just wait. Consumers can use the Orbit app to pay for purchases using crypto while merchants receive fiat currency. The tap and pay feature helps make crypto payments more accessible as users can pay at any point of sale that accepts Visa or MasterCard using funds from their Orbit wallet. Okay. Let me rewind for a second. So you have a crypto wallet that has a tap and pay feature that works with any merchants that accepts Visa or MasterCard. I mean, this opens a whole new world for us. You can spend right from your crypto wallet. This is Apple Pay and Google Pay in one. I'd call it Crypto Pay. You can buy your groceries with it, you can buy a car with it, you can buy your house with it, you can buy anything you want with it. This is literally what we've all been waiting for. Well done to Orbit. Now, a little more negative news. However, this is what we're up against, so I have to cover it. As you know, with this channel, I aim to inform you of everything that happens in the market. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. This is only for perspective and information purposes, so I can enable you to make better decisions. So here we go. Genesis seeks approval to sell 1.6 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Nearly 1.4 billion of Genesis assets were held in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC. As you already know, Genesis is already being sued by the NYAG, and they've now requested the approval to sell 1.6 billion of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And currently their Bitcoin is in Grayscale's ETF. Guys, the last time something of this scale happened was when FTX sold $1 billion worth of Bitcoin that they held in Grayscale's ETF. And that's the exact reason why we had a dip in Bitcoin's price. It went from 49k all the way down to 39k. 1 billion equated to $10,000 difference in Bitcoin's price. Now, if they're trying to sell 14 billion Bitcoin, is this going to take the price down by $14,000? Maybe a little bit more because they're also selling Ethereum. If this gets approved, it will probably have a negative impact on Bitcoin's price. Not financial advice. That being said, I'm still not selling anything, and the reason why is because even though there are predictions of a slight negative impact on price in the near future, the upside is much bigger, especially with altcoins. Now guys, with this we're coming to the end of the video. If you do like the information I provide to you, make sure you're subscribed and you're following me on Twitter at Alex Yanakov. Goodbye and see you in the next video.